Hey, it's 2 minute drill time. Jim Monahan along with Chris Swendeman. Chris, I am in sunny Florida. It's anything but sunny here. It's pouring
Because of course,
because, of course, why is nothing easy? Came down to Fort Myers. Wanted to see the Yankees and the Red Sox, and well, that didn't happen. But we've got a lot to talk about, including one amazing hockey game the other night. Your thoughts?
I am a hockey fanatic. And for me, this was everything. The game was on full display. Everybody was watching. 9.3 million viewers tuned in to watch the final game of US versus Canada. And it was everything I think people had hoped for and more. The NHL was on, center stage. The spotlight was on them. And I thought they knocked it out of the park for sure.
This was the most watched NHL sanctioned hockey game in I don't know how many years, decades. And my thought as I'm watching it, first of all, the game was exciting as you know what.
Absolutely.
I thoroughly enjoyed the game. And I know that, there's been talk, will the NBA do something to follow suit to try and fix their All-Star game? The NFL, I don't know if they could do something like this, but I'm wondering is the novelty of it, these four nations that had come together to put this little mini tournament together, would the novelty wear off, or is this enough of a spark to really, really take the NHL's All-Star festivities to the next level?
I think it can be if it's done right, and maybe if you maybe swap out countries year in year out to keep it this foreplay, so to speak, and you add in different countries, different years. I think they're really onto something because not only did they take center stage, but every other major league office took notice and went, "Whoa." When they, especially at that 9.3 million viewership.
Yeah, I think you're right. So we'll see what happens with that. It was a great, great event for hockey, and United States hockey as well. I know they came out on the losing end, but I think a lot of people were really captivated by certain personalities on this team, and we can look forward to that maybe more in the future. I want to turn our attention to the Yankees. And again, I was saying I was hoping to see them in Fort Myers today take on the Red Sox, and injuries are front and center once again. Giancarlo Stanton, we talked about him last week. He's in New York City now talking to the Yankees head team physician, Dr. Christopher Ahmad, with regard to the tennis elbow that he's been bothered by since last year. And I don't think the prognosis is good here, Chris.
I don't feel good about this as a Yankee fan and as somebody who enjoys the game much like you do. I really feel like we're not going to see much of anything, at least in the first half of the year from Giancarlo, and maybe all year. If it was one arm, you'd be like, all right, rehab or maybe a quick surgery. It's both elbows, Jim. I just don't see there being a good end to this. And you never want to see anybody hurt. So please, nobody get me wrong when I'm saying this. Take care of your problem. Get this fixed once and for all. If it means you sit out the year, so be it. But what good is he going to do with one or two bad elbows and trying to rehab or trying to, rest during the season? This is the problem. Just take care of it when you need to and be one and done.
Speaking of more injuries and taking care of elbows and what have you, two Yankee pitchers undergoing Tommy John surgery. One, a lot of Yankee fans, probably, especially in this area, have probably heard of Chase Hampton. He was a number 6 Yankees prospect, and he's pitched at the Somerset for the Somerset Patriots at the Double A level. He just underwent
Mhm.
Tommy John surgery. Meanwhile, Thatcher Hurd, he has yet to make his pro debut. He was a third-round draft pick in 2024. He's undergoing Tommy John surgery. And I caught this the other day on Instagram, Chris, from Eric Cressy. Eric is the Yankees director of player health and performance. And he noted no major league pitcher has thrown more than 3 innings yet in spring training, but high school arms threw complete games in Florida this week. And those high school kids will be playing fall ball 4 weeks after the World Series ends. The first fix for the injury epidemic is more about math and common sense. than cutting edge ideas. I did want to caution people who saw this post from Eric on a couple of things. First of all, unlike New Jersey, where high school spring sports don't even start for 2 weeks from today, high school baseball in Florida, they're into their third week. And they also
Right.
end a heck of a lot earlier. So, kids train differently down here than they do in New Jersey. So we don't know 7 inning complete game, 5 inning complete game with the mercy rule. We don't know the
Right.
exact details. I understand the point that Eric's trying to make. There is this rush to, complete games. There's this rush to 90 miles an hour, and it's happening over and over and again. You and I were talking off air the other day about, college kids. If you're a right-handed
Right.
college high school pitcher and you're not throwing 90, you can pretty much forget about getting a
Exactly.
lot of looks at the collegiate level. I don't care what these colleges say, Chris. If you're not throwing 90 as a righty, they don't care. They're not looking at you. And until that mentality goes away, I got to throw harder. I've got to throw harder. I've got to throw harder. And I see that at the college, the high school, and down into the youth levels. Until that mentality goes away, this epidemic isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
No, and one of the things I told you that stuck out to me, and you know why everybody's got this mentality? Because you see every year somebody they'll take a player from a team and make them the poster boy for the big pitcher of the year. This year it's Paul Skeens who took from Pittsburgh, who took the world by storm last year because I mean he is amazing. And
Electric.
I sent you, yeah, and I sent you something on Instagram. We were looking at it. It was from the catcher's view, catching Paul Skeens in a bullpen session. And you hear the ball coming like a freight train. I mean, you hear the whoosh coming at you, and it's only getting heavy. I mean, the ball comes so fast and so hard. And the movement on his arm, you're just waiting. You're going, I really hope somebody like this who's so talented and such a young face of a franchise like in Pittsburgh and for MLB, you really hope he doesn't get hurt. But you're just like, okay, when are we going to hear the news that he's got an arm problem? Look at Spencer Strider last year for Atlanta, another one who throws gas, and I mean is filthy. Second, I mean rehab, but could be looking at a second Tommy John. What it's too much.
Meanwhile, to go back to the Yankees for just a second, you got some good news this week with the Yankees announcing that they're going to allow longer hair and beards. For 2 Minute Drill fans who are watching this on our YouTube channel, there you go, Chris. You got the facial hair. You're right there.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. I've been waiting for my moment. Me and Don Mattingly are going to go back together. And Don's going to grow out his stash. Don Mattingly actually went back to Yankees camp today as a special advisor, I believe. But I mean, really, it's been too long, and I'm really glad they did this. Does it really make a difference? I don't know how much it'll make a difference, but you know what? It's well past the time. And I know George is somewhere rolling over, very upset. But you know what? He's not here to stop it, and I'm glad they did it.
And that's the 2 Minute Drill for another Monday. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe, and we will talk to you next Monday right here.
You got it, Jim. Enjoy the sun in Florida, hopefully.